How to get ahead. One of the biggest stressors in life is when you feel like you're never going to get ahead. Trying to get ahead in life many times could be like chasing your tail. You're putting some nervous energy into getting ahead, but you can't seem to make traction. Hey, Daddy Geek. Getting ahead of life and trying to make progress and trying to fulfill your dreams. And even if it's not fulfill your dreams, just getting the burdens of life off your back a little bit, that's getting ahead. Getting ahead is not feeling the depressing pain of the pressures of life suffocating you. How do you get ahead? Part of getting ahead is being a little bit financially free. You know, finances play a big part in life. I mean, I'm not for worshiping the mighty dollar, but money makes us all happy. Money is a part of life. Money can make our life more convenient, and we need a level of it to live a decent life. So let's address money first because you have to talk about it. So the first step to financial freedom and getting ahead in money is clearly seeing what you're up against, clearly knowing your budget, and then clearly having some structured plan to get ahead. The first step is understanding your income and your expenses. In life, which I've discussed many times on this channel, you can live in a car, you can live with very few materialistic things, but if you don't have an income, if you don't have money coming in on a regular basis every month, you'll go broke even if you are homeless, because you have to feed yourself. And you have to move, and you have to pay insurances, you have to pay cell phone bills. You need income. So you have to measure, what is your income? What are your expenses? That's a budget. Income and expenses are the two major things you need to focus on with a budget. Are you in a deficit? Meaning at the end of each month, you don't have enough income and you owe $300 a month. Or you're in a surplus, meaning you have extra at the end of each month, you have about $300 extra. For many years, I just stuck my head in the sand. I kind of knew I had enough each month just to get by. And for a while, I said, I'm young enough not to care. I'm not going to care. But as you get older, you realize to get ahead, you have to care. You have to know your income and your expenses. What's the poverty line in the United States of America? If you make $1,000 or less, you're in poverty. If that's your income, if your income is, doesn't matter what your expenses are, if your income is $1,000 or less, you're in poverty. Average Social Security is about $1,200 per month. How do you get ahead? I think you have to figure out ways of making an income, and then you have to stop the big spreadsheet madness. The spreadsheet is you're figuring out what your income is, what your expenses are, can I walk dogs, can I go get a job at a corporation, whatever you can do. You have to get away from the spreadsheet planning. Or I have security income. I'm on Social Security, I'm on disability. All right, you have your income. You may have to lower your expenses, but then you have to do stuff. Then you have to go out there and stop the mind effing of life, and you have to take action. Because you don't get ahead in life. I don't care how good your game plan is. I don't care if you have a spreadsheet that calculates exactly how much you need to make each month, how much you'll get out of debt in 2 years, you'll have enough for this in 3 years. That's all BS, because if you don't take action, that plan means nothing. Yeah, Mel, Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang was on Joe Rogan tonight. Please watch that, man. That's our brother, 2020, Andrew Yang. Oh, brother, wait till I get to live comments. We're going to tear that up. Everyone has a plan, right? You have a plan that you're only going to eat 2,000 calories a day. Huh. Then at night, after you watch me going live, you watch Andrew Yang on Joe Rogan. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're eating cheese and macaroni. Okay. Watching, I don't know what you're watching on YouTube. You're watching something crazy. You had a plan to only eat a certain amount of calories. You paid Oprah's big ass to go on Weight Watchers. She gave you a plan on how many calories to eat. What a disgrace. And then life happened. You can have a plan, but emotion comes into play. That's our only problem with Andrew Yang. He understands that and not a human emotion. But what I'm trying to tell you, to get ahead, you have to calculate for emotion. You have to calculate for emotion. You have to calculate for emotion. You're not a robot. You're not a robot. So you're going to probably spend a little bit more than you think. Okay, some people told me they only spend $200 a month on food. I love you, but I have a hard time believing that. Why? Because I think the average person spends at least $20 a day, on food. How can that be? Most people spend at least $2 a day on coffee. Well, I'll make my coffee at home. How much capital investment do you have to have in a coffee machine? And then you got to have filters for that coffee machine. Then you got to buy the grinds. Then you got to buy the sugar. Then you got to buy the soy milk, whatever you're going to put in it. And before you know it, it would take you 2 years of making coffee at your house every day before you'd see a return on investment. Well, most people ain't doing that. Even if you went into the dollar menu, most people, I would like to know right now, leave a live comment. Think about how much you spent today in food. Even if you packed your lunch, you had to buy that lunch at some point. $20 a day, 20 times 30 is $600. If you spend $20 a day and there's 30 days in a month, you spend $600 a month. Even if you got universal basic income, $1,000 a month, which is still poverty, you spend $600 in food, where you're going to get rent from. There's no rent that I know that's less than $400. I mean, I don't even think any less than $1,000. But you have to calculate and you have to look at life, and then you have to realize, look, I need a certain amount of income. I have to watch my expenses. I actually have to know what I spend. I can't say, oh yeah, I think I only spend $200 a month in food. What do you spend? Look at your receipts. Look at your statement online. All part of measuring. Every entrepreneur says if you want to grow anything in life, you have to measure it. You have to understand if you're winning or losing, and then you have to understand at what ratio are you and how to make adjustments. How do you get ahead? You got to have a clear vision of what's going wrong or what's going right, and how do you make the positives better and the negatives lower. There's no guarantees in life. There's part of life that you need the luck. You need the things to go your way. You can plan everything great, but you have to focus on what you can control. Don't get distracted. How do you get ahead? You get away from the distractions and you focus on what you can control. Every day you have so much energy, just like every day you have so much money, every day you have so much calories you can take. Every day you have so much energy. What are you spending your energy on? 8 hours out of the day, 6 to 8 hours out of the day are shot from sleep. So you don't have 24 hours in a day. You have more like 16 hours in a day. And then you really don't have 16 hours in a day. How many hours do you spend like kind of just zoning out? How many hours do you spend driving in your car back and forth? How many hours of the day do you spend in the bathroom, in the shower, getting changed? If you think about it, you probably only have a good 20% of the day of effective use. 20% of 24, what's that? 20, maybe 6 hours. Maybe 6 hours out of the day is what you really got to get stuff done. And out of those 6, I would say it's closer to 2 to 4 hours. That's 4 hours. I'd say the average person gets 4 hours of maximum productivity. It said on average from 8 a.m. to noon, that's the maximum productivity of a human. Why do we even care about this? Because are you trying to get ahead? You have to know some of this stuff. Because you have to manage your energy. You have to manage your money. You have to manage your calories. You don't have to be a micromanager. A micromanager is someone that oversees something and they're so on top of it, they suffocate it. You can't suffocate your life. You don't get ahead like that. You have to let it organically grow. But you have to have some structure. You have to have some management. Or else it's just la la land. How do you get ahead? This is the focus we're talking about tonight. measuring things, knowing things, taking action. Anxiety is unused energy. Anxiety is sitting there all day trying to figure out how to get ahead, and you didn't do anything. Anxiety is, woo, blow up emoji, head blow up. And I understand that because I feel, look, I'm still human too. I'm not a robot, even though I would like to marry a robot. What are we talking about today? We're talking about what everyone thinks about all day long. When you're at work, when you're walking down the street, when you're flirting with some girl in Starbucks, what you're really thinking about is, how do I get ahead in life? Most people think about that on a daily basis. How do I get ahead? What if you didn't have to think about every day, how do you get ahead? Then you start to live. See, when you start to get, you're always going to have to worry about financial. You always got to worry about health. You never get that burden off your back. We're in this world. Look, your parents had unprotected sex and now you're born. You got to deal with it, all right? Get over it. So now you got to make the most of this life. So now you got to figure out how do you get ahead. Then once you figure out how to get ahead, now you can start living. That's why so many people want to get ahead, because they're not living. They're suffering through life. And I understand that. Believe me, sometimes I feel like I am. But then I say to myself, I gotta rediscipline the mind. I gotta make my life better, and I gotta start making decisions. I gotta start looking at things clearly, because I gotta get ahead, and then I gotta start living. The reason you want to get ahead is because you want to start living. When you're not getting ahead, you're not living. You're just and I've been there. I understand the pain. I'm talking a little bit front because I gotta get this out. Do you want to get ahead, or do you want to do a van build? Do you want to get ahead, or do you just want to stay by your parents and your children, and you don't spend much time with them? You know, once your children hit puberty and once they graduate high school, they don't want you around. They want your money. They want to see you on occasion, but you don't have to live in the same state as your children, and you don't have to live in the same state as your parents. You don't get ahead by waiting for your parents to die, and you don't get ahead by sticking around with your children. Your children are going to live their own life. You get ahead by taking care of your responsibilities, loving people, but living your life. Why is it important? It's important because you got to start living. You got to start making the most of your life. Suicide rates up, mental health down. Society's looking for an answer, and they get caught in the political mumbo jumbo of meaningless debates. They're blaming everyone. You got to work on your life. You got to get ahead, and then you got to start living. But only you can do that to a certain extent. You do need leaders, you need people to help, you need some breaks along the way, and we need a hydration break because the structured topic has concluded, and now we get ready to go into all live comments where we talk about a lot of different things on this channel. Every night on this channel, I go live. You can subscribe, be notified, and come in and leave a comment, or you can follow me on Instagram at the word inspire, the symbol _ the number 38. You can even leave me a direct message, but please do not leave me a dick pic. Why? Because I love all people, but I do not want to see a pic of your dick. And even if you're a hot girl, don't message me a naked pic. Why? I don't even believe that's you. I do not believe a hot girl. I do not believe a hot girl would direct message me a naked picture. Why? All of a sudden, she's going to fall in love with a guy living out of his car that talks about get a vasectomy and don't get married. You know how many women want to hear, get a vasectomy, don't get married, I hate kids, and I don't think marriage is wisdom. See, for women to get ahead, a lot of them aren't thinking about money. They want their financial independence, but love is a big part. Love is a big driver for women to be, not all women, but for many women, it's a nurturing, loving thing. They believe in love. They believe in the Cinderella. Is there something wrong with that? No, I don't, though. I don't care about it. Now, some women get offended by that. This damn guy, he keeps preaching anti-love. Well, it's not for me. If it's for you, I'm not telling you to give up on love. Just don't direct message me when you're ready to get a divorce. It's a disaster. Where are we going with this? I got a little upset. Don't get me upset. All right, hydration break. It's a disaster. All right. We're going to go to all live comments. Good to see everyone tonight. You got to make the most of your life. This world is a disaster. How do you get ahead? You better keep yourself happy. You think someone else is going to make you happy? Please. Most people are walking around their own misery. Sometimes I say to myself, Sam, are you waiting for someone else to make you happy? You better snap out of that. You better start making yourself happy. That's why I masturbate, and that's why I laugh at myself. Why? Because this world's a disaster. Good job, Sam. As I tried to click on my own thing. Also, I appreciate you guys clicking the thumbs up on the video and sharing it. I mean, come on. Show some love. There's nothing wrong with that. Live comments. Daddy Geek. Oh my God, I'm first tonight. Daddy Geek, good to have you. I was praying for you yesterday. I know you had that procedure. I seen that little doggy. I know you had a little doggy. How are you feeling? Good to see you. Love and respect. Hope everything's going good at work. Blanton, that's our brother from North Carolina. Trying to show some love, Blanton. Just started an investment account, low risk, trying to get ahead early. Well, love to you, brother. Good to see you. I've lost more money in investments than I made. I think you can get ahead in investments, but I think you're going to take some pain. But the key to all financial wisdom is not investments. The key to financial wisdom is having an income greater than your expenses. What's your income, Blanton? Blanton, if you don't have no income, doesn't matter what your investments do. What are your expenses? And then before you invest in anything, you should pay off your debt. Before you pay off your debt, you should have a savings account of at least a year's worth of savings. So, Blanton, in my opinion, Blanton, you're going to have to figure out life on your own. You should do whatever you want. Don't listen to a guy living in his car, even though you shouldn't listen to a guy living in his house with a resentful wife and kids that don't love him. But what I'm here to tell you is start working, brother, because you're in college. Don't mind screw your life away. You got to work. Doesn't matter what college teach you. Start working, get an income, get a savings account of a year's worth of savings, then pay off debt, okay? Because if you lose your job and you have no income, it doesn't matter if you have no debt. You got to feed yourself. You're going to spend at least $600 a month in food, all right? At least, unless you're on food stamps. And what I could tell you, unless you want to go beg your daddy and your mommy for money, or if you want to beg Tom Hanks, all of a sudden Tom Hanks ain't treating you good. You think you can cut off Tom? You can't cut off Tom. Why? You need that money. You can't cut off your lover with a lot of cats. You can't cut her off. Why? You need the money. You know who has unhealthy relationships? People who are not getting ahead in life. They need someone else. Now, what I was here to tell you is get a year's worth of savings, then pay off debt, then play with investments. And then you should treat investments just like you treat Atlantic City or casinos. Only play with what you can afford to lose, and you're probably going to lose a little bit more than that. But the bottom line is you got to have consistent, reliable income, and you got to have low expenses. That's how you have power in your life. That's how you get ahead. Blanton, you know how many people would love to trade places with you? You know how many people, you know what the highest suicide rate is in America? They talked about it on the Joe Rogan Experience with Andrew Lang tonight. Somebody YouTube Google that, Andrew Lang and Joe Rogan. The highest percentage of suicide is males between the age of 50 to 55. Okay. Why? Because they've been divorced, they have alimony, they're in a hardship, and they're giving up on life. They would trade places with a young man living in Boone, North Carolina, that has no kids, that's never been married, that has his whole life ahead of him, and he could design his life however he wants. Blanton, you don't need a risky investment. You don't need the Robinhood app. What you need, brother, is a job, a savings account, and free porn, okay? And I do recommend, here I'll lose my women crowd, that's why only 25% of my crowd is women. I believe that you should get a vasectomy, okay, until you are financially free and you have fully decided that you're ready to take a risk with another person. Even Andrew Yang and Joe Rogan said, it's too risky to get married. I wouldn't recommend it, but don't let my wife hear that. That's what they said. Brother, I love you. Stay inspired. Teresa, what's up, Sam? Teresa, I love you. I love Teresa. She's a very supportive person. I know you believe in love. Teresa, never let me make you believe. Never let me make you not believe in love. If you believe in love and that's your desire, I want you to believe in your dream. I love you, Teresa. I appreciate you, Teresa. I respect you, Teresa. Hear that. Hear that. Just know for me, I rather live alone, but that's just me. And I want to show that I can respect and honor other people's desires. But I also am pretty firm in my own beliefs for myself that I like singleness. I think for many people, not all, they're better single. I think for many men, not all, you're better with a vasectomy. You can always reverse it. Okay. Because you're sitting here, you're waiting for your kid to come see you after high school. They don't want to come see you. They want to go hang with their boyfriend. They want to start the cycle all over again. You got to live your life, love and respect. Deborah, at Daddy Geek. That's how you got ahead, laughing. Daddy Geek, laughing at Deborah. Tara, sounds like a good show. Well, I'm just doing my best. If you want to do your best, just focus on your inner voice, and you got to go forward. You got to take action. Most people who are critics are not doing anything with their life. They're hiding. They're wishing they could do what you do. You're not better than them. But they give you a lot of negative feedback, and then they say, look, can you check me out? It's tough in life. You got to be humble, but you got to be confident, and you have to be forgiving, but you can't be too soft or people take advantage of you. It's a very thin balance on putting yourself out there and leading, even if you're leading just your own life. It's a very thin balance of all those things: confidence, humility, boldness, humility, softness, harshness. It's very tough balance. Love and respect. Thomas, afternoon, Sam. Well, brother, it is the evening here in South Florida. Love and respect to you. Blessings to you, brother. And I pray that good things are going your way. And I pray everyone gets breaks. Because I'm laying out a plan here, but in my mind, I'm always fair that at any time life can knock you on your ass, and any of us, including me, could be totally hopeless. Okay. So I'm not here one of these people that try to, but that's why I believe in some basic universal things to make society better. But love and respect. Mel, that's my brother Mel. Listen to Joe Rogan. Yes, please. YouTube, Google Joe Rogan, Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang's a young man running for president in 2020. Very smart businessman. Okay, already had a successful business. Got a lot of good ideas. First time hearing him. Very interesting. Guy's on point, man. Opened my mind on UBI. Brother, I'm trying to tell you. Andrew Yang's the real deal, man. He's a very smart businessman who has done a lot of great things with his life. He's not just a career politician. He's very logical, and he's very smart. The problem with him, in my opinion, I'm probably a vote for him. My problem with him is, unless some type of controversy comes up, my problem with him is he doesn't understand there's two parts of life. There's data and analytics, and then there's human emotion. I think he gets the data and analytics, but I think sometimes he underestimates how human emotion can make people be illogical, even if you're very smart and intelligent. So that's my only concern. But so far, he's the best guy I've seen, and he gives me hope for the future and a better society, okay? Where we measure society not just by GDP. Which GDP? GDP is the gross domestic product. So most people measure that by the strength of the economy. Then look, the stock market's all-time high, but 80% of Americans still live in paycheck to paycheck. I've met plenty of people that are living in their car not by choice. Plenty of people they don't feel like they're getting ahead. And as technology advances, that's going to be a huge part with our society. And how we look at society. Are we just born just to pump out GDP? Or are we actually going to have a little bit healthier society? Because like I say, suicide rates going up, mental problems going up. At some point, we have to say, look, is all America's going to ever be about worshiping the mighty printed paper dollar or digital currency? Is that going to be our main thing? Where everyone is just looking at their Robin Hood Act? Now, I'm not against investments. I'm not against all those things. But at some point, that comes to a head. When it comes to a head, is debatable. How do you get ahead? You need income, but you also need to build your life around using your gifts, around living in an environment that you want to live, and by getting a vasectomy. All right, love and respect. Free to be me. Peace to Sam and the Truth family. Praise the Lord. Good to see you, brother. Mel. Yes, listen twice already. Good job. My kind of conversation, brother, is very smart conversation. It was not an emotional, political, contentious type of thing. Like, I listened to Hillary Clinton disaster, okay? And I understand why Trump won. I listened to, who's that other girl? Harris or whatever. She was on the Breakfast Club, total disaster. You thought Hillary pandered when she said on the Breakfast Club that she had hot sauce in her purse? Wait till you hear the other girl who went on there and said that she listened to Tupac and Snoop when she was in college, and they didn't even have an album out. They didn't even have an album out yet, and she said that. She was straight pandering. What's pandering? Telling the specific crowd whatever they want to hear. That's the worst thing you can do because you get no respect. And people don't believe in you. You're pandering. One of the main reasons Donald Trump won, forget the Russians, it was direct talk. People want you to directly speak to them. You know, they don't want you to be hurtful, but if they have no choice, I mean, they'd rather hear direct conversation. Because, you know, if you're too disingenuous, like you're a liar. I mean, everyone lies. So I don't want to sit up here on my mighty horse. But you have to have a good, decent, but direct conversation, or else nothing gets done. And, you know, so I'm hopeful. I was very hopeful. Teresa, holy crap. Excellent topic tonight. Yes, thank you, Teresa. I love you. Teresa, absolutely 100% truth into what you're saying. Thank you. Emotions control so much of what we do. Praise the Lord. Good job. Pack Live. That's our brother from the West Coast. What's up, Sam? Sunglass face emoji. Everybody has plans until they get hit in the mouth. Yeah, Mike Tyson said that. Good quote, Pack Live. Everyone has a plan until life hits you. Amen, brother. I've been there. And that's why I do believe in some universal basic things. You want to free up small business? You want to free up the business world? Then you take health insurance off their back. When I had a small business, you know what my biggest concern was? Providing health care for myself and my employees. If there was a basic level of income, $1,000 per month, that you'd still be in poverty. So don't tell me like $1,000 per month would make the whole society lazy, because you'd still be in poverty. You know, you can't even rent an apartment in most places for $1,000 a month and feed yourself. You can't. So, but what it would do, like Andrew Yang was saying, it would take the edge off society. Right now, everyone's on edge. They're blaming this group. They're blaming that group. It's because everyone's on edge for the almighty. Take a level of the edge off and free society to be a little bit more healthy and creative, and watch it organically grow. As I flirt with Magical Mills there on Florida. Good job. Gina Israel's in the house. Sammy, how are you? I'm thankful. I'm making the most of my days. I saw a 6-foot-long lizard yesterday. I see a lot of them down in Fort Lauderdale. Crossing the street in Thailand. With love and respect to all my Thailand girls. I love them. So huge. Its name is monitor lizard. It looks like a crocodile. Well, brother, be careful out there, man. Love to you, man. Good to see you, Gina. Thank you for all your positive support. I'll never forget one of the most encouraging comments you left. Sam, your true viewers love you, and they just want to see you fulfill your dreams. Brother, that comment meant a lot to me, and I think about it often. I appreciate you. Hydration rate. Tara? Yeah, Tara about to break it down. Food today. You see, that's why I love Tara. She said between $10 to $12. I think she's a little bit. When someone tells you how much they're in debt, like if someone says, Sam, I'm $2,000 in debt, times 2. They're usually $4,000 in debt. If someone says, like, you know, their penis size is 8 inches, divide it by 2. Everyone exaggerates, okay, including Trump. Everyone exaggerates. So what I can tell you is, if Tara's telling me she spent $10 to $12 today in food, do I believe her? Let me keep reading before I judge her. If you add my supplement, I get 59. Now we're talking back. Then I hit the gym for 45 minutes after day, back to work, second shift. Well, I believe in Tara. I say if she say $15 a day, that's fine. Who is good with math? What is 15 times 30? Someone go on their phone right now. What's 15 times 30? That's what Tara spends per month on food. But every day, does she spend $15? Hell no. After working all week on Saturday, she decides, I'm going to Chicken Holiday. She gets the big 12-piece chicken, and before you know it, she spent $35 on food. Because don't forget to account for the days that you go a little bit extra. All of us do that. So if you average it out, I think $600 per month in food is most people. So you didn't even pay rent yet. All you do is feed yourself. That's why $1,000 less is in poverty. Think about that, guys. Good job. Right then. Love you, Sam. I love you too. New Jersey's in the house. This channel helps me for mental health. Yes, and motivation. Well, hey, brother, I'm glad I can make your life a little bit better, and I appreciate you too. Daddy Geek. Exhausted, so I'll be here but listening. Daddy Geek, when you're hurting, take more time for yourself and don't feel the pressure to talk. You can just sit, relax, and we love you, and we're praying for your prayer emoji to you. I love you. Gina, sometimes I think it's not worth it to put the effort to get ahead because eventually you will die, so why bother? Well, I agree. I've thought about that often. Fair comment. Here's the answer to that. Here's the motivation. If you sit there and lay down, this world will keep kicking you. So if you think, well, I'm so far behind the 8 ball, I'm just going to give up on life. You could do that, and it's a fair thought to do that. But what will happen is the world will keep kicking you. When in doubt, keep moving. How do you get ahead? You have to keep moving in life. You will get buried alive when you stop moving. So when you lose all hope, and I felt that before, And I can understand the pain, but you got to keep moving. And you'll get some breaks along the way. When you question, is life worth it? Look, forget about it. You're here. Your parents had unprotected sex. They should have got a vasectomy. But instead, hey, look, your dad cream pied your mom, and now you're here. So now what do you got to do? You got to keep moving. Okay? Because if you stay still, the world will keep kicking you. Guy, I'm dropping knowledge. Somebody give me the fire emoji. Good job. Hydration break. Ready? Snowed in New Jersey today, brother. Almost 80 degrees today in South Florida. Let me tell you this. The best decision I ever made was to move and leave Jersey. New Jersey has a good job system, this and this and that. But let me tell you something. I would never move to New Jersey again unless it became a total disaster and I had no choice but to survive. I would adapt. But I look at New Jersey like, I'm not even going to say anything negative. All I can say, brother, is I love Florida. I'll never leave Florida unless I totally have to. Then I got to do what I got to do. But I want to die in Florida, brother. Every day I'm at the beach. There was a couple old people today saying, damn, I don't want to go back up north. They were here visiting. One thing I think that I'm not visiting Florida, I'm living in Florida. Does that matter? Hell yeah, that matters. I'm in a tank top, brother. Look at this. Look at this. I'm reaching outside. I'm not freezing. Do you see that? Let me get that clear. Look. There's no cold. There's no like, oh, I'm just here sweating, man. Yes. Good job. Okay. Andy G. Hey, Sammy. Hey, folks. Hey, Andy G. How are you? Good to see you, Andy G. We love you, brother. Brandon, I love how I can learn all this wisdom from you. Brother, damn it, you don't learn this in college. And it's not even like college loan debt is a complete disaster. Yeah, look, Blanton's out there going to college with Tom Hanks in North Carolina. He's over there with an investment app. He's already in debt. He's not even working yet. College is not for everyone. You got to start working, but you need some degrees and some certification. But be very careful. Don't take out too much college loan debt. Teresa, he said, thank you, Teresa. Teresa, hey, Sammy, how's your week been? So far, so good, but at any time, it can totally turn into a disaster. So let's just stay positive. I'm taking life one day at a time. I'm going to do my best. And if that's not good enough for some people, then it is what it is. Let me tell you this. You want the career advice? It's better to you to get laid off than for you to quit. Never quit your job. Why? Because it's better for you to get fired or laid off than to quit. Why? Because if you get laid off for something, at least you can collect unemployment. Now, if you get fired, that's debatable. But never quit, because then you're not going to get any unemployment. It's going to look bad on you. Just ride that thing out, man. Ride it out. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Until you secured another job or it completely blows up. That's what I would tell you. Love and respect. Mel, raised with entrepreneur spirit in my family. Got out on my own, away from my family, believed only smart, strong survive. I changed philosophies. Ex-peers think I got weak. I think I'm more compassionate. Mel, you know me and you on the same page, brother. I'm going to see you one day in down Florida. I love you. Gina, Sammy, be a porn actor sounds like a perfect job. Nope, total disaster, but let's keep reading. You get laid with hot girls and have no commitment. I would try it. Well, I'm not mad at you. I wouldn't try it. But I'm not mad at you if you would. Not my thing. I'd rather just watch it. Why? Because, for me, when I masturbate, it's a 10-minute job or less. When you're on a porn production, it's hours, man. You got to wake up. It's a job. Like just some people say, oh, yeah, I would love to do YouTube. All right, go ahead, start a YouTube channel. Most people do one video and then they're gone for 5 months. Like my guy, Big Dirty Logistics, he's got 2 videos up there. It took him 2 days to respond to my comment, man. I got over 1,500 videos. I'm responding to every comment every day. Damn it, you got to put in work. But some people have bigger channels than me. So should I judge? No. But will I do porn? No. I'll just watch it for 10 minutes and then that's it. No commitment. Good job. Joel, love listening to Joe Rogan. Love and respect. Yeah, love to you. Hydration break. Steve Barker. What's up, brother? Play that guitar. Hello, Sam. Thanks for all the Florida stuff and inspiration, brother. Sunglass face emoji to you and guitar emoji to you. Creativity will save you, okay? So stay creative, stay positive, love and respect. Tease up. Hey, Sam, do you think America is becoming more polarized and class-based? I read somewhere, social depression is directly related to social inequality. Yeah, look, the middle class is still statistically shrinking. Statistics prove it, okay? It doesn't matter what the stock market's doing. The middle class is shrinking. There's no pensions. There's no annuities. They're even talking about taking away social programs. And corporations are getting bigger. And we're putting in policies to make them bigger. So I think financial inequality, even when the stock market's at an all-time high, is an issue that's not being addressed. It can't be addressed with tax reform. There's a huge structural problem. And when you feel like you can't get ahead, then you vote based on emotion, not logic. And that's how Trump got elected. He gave people what they wanted to hear, and he picks a couple issues to get people all emotional, and it doesn't matter. You know, the most people that are in tough financial situation, but he's right on some issues. I don't want to go too far. Trump is right on some issues, and some of the Democrats are wrong on some issues. It's a balance of thought, but I do think that the underbelly of society is still unhealthy. I think the underbelly of society is still too strained, and that's where I think some universal income, some universal health care would take the monkey off your back. It would take the foot off your neck. I mean, society is feeling the stress. Companies are trying to maximize productivity with limited workers. You feel that stress. You feel that looming unemployment over your head. Even with the unemployment at all-time low, you still feel it out there if you're in the workforce. A lot of people ain't in the workforce tell me, like, what? Let me tell you something. I'm in the workforce. And let me tell you something. It's a demanding place to be. Okay? And there's a reason why even people who vote very conservative, their children are strung out on drugs because their children feel the stress of this world already at a young age. And their children don't have the same opportunities as a previous generation had. The middle class topped out in the 1970s. That is the statistical facts. Okay. America is still a great place. There is still a bunch of opportunities, and I'm still very hopeful, positive, and thankful for America. But for us to neglect the underbelly of society and how the world is evolving it'll eventually come to pass, and we'll address it like we always do. But there is something there that's not being talked about. Our boy Andrew Yang is talking about it, and I like what I heard today on Joe Rogan Experience. He's up Trump versus Andrew Yang. It's going to be a tough one because Trump is better with human emotion. Andrew Yang is better with data. At least Andrew Yang doesn't pander. He's a very articulate, but not like over articulate. Like he's trying to like Obama was almost too articulate, where he was like trying to but he was a lawyer. That's what Obama was, a Harvard law professor. So he's real into everything, blah, 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 blah. Trump is just like everything like human emotion, exaggeration. So more people can relate to Trump because most people aren't a law professor. They're not blah, 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 blah. They're rah, rah, rah. So people have to relate to you. Why do people vote for you? Relate to you. So, but Andrew Yang, I think he speaks very reasonable. I think he's better equipped than me to be a president. But the only thing I think I have on him is that I understand the human emotion. But I think he understands the logic more. He's very smart. He's already started to run. You need to start to run a year before. So he has a shot. And out of all the Democratic candidacy, he is, for me, the most reasonable person. Now, how he does on foreign policy and all that other stuff, we got to see. On the social, domestic issues, double thumbs up. On the world stage, we have to see. So we'll see. Mel, I agree on Andrew Yang. Maybe lacking or getting misunderstood with human experience, touch versus data. Yep. He did say GDP is an archaic measurement. I totally agree with that. He would use meaningful measurements like mental health. Well, that's one measurement. I mean, look, it has to be a comprehensive thing, but I agree with overall's mindset, and he gets it. May West, Brooklyn's in the house. Hey, man, good to see you. Gina. Sam, people think that getting ahead in life is buying a house, buying a new car every 2 years, and a lot of useless stuff. Well, I've been there, and I agree. And that's part of society's problem, is that because our society, 70% of it is based on consumerism, if we don't teach that, then the system totally, I don't know if it collapses, but it totally changes, and people are scared of change, even if it's for the better. So I think the first thing we have to stop preaching is college is for everyone. That's why I am against free college for everyone. I don't think that's the answer, because most people, they're not college people, and then there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are mechanics, and some people are creative, but you don't have that many options when you have a lot of debt. So the biggest thing you have when you're young in your favor is you don't have children, and you don't have a spouse. You don't have a big burden of debt. Don't get in debt. Don't buy a house to get a wife or to get a husband, and then you get a family, and then you got a family, a house, and now you're stuck in a rat race. That's what happens. You buy the car to get the lover, you get the lover, you get the house, you get the kids, and then you get living in your car, because at 50 years old is the highest level of suicide. Why? Because it's a disaster. You can't get ahead. Don't get discouraged. There's some hope. The hope is you have to refocus. You have to look at your income and expenses. You have to move. You have to move. Who moved my cheese? It's all about you have to move states. Leave your family behind and redesign your life. Don't leave your family behind, but you have to leave your old life behind. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying something here. Good job. Annie J. Fire. Good job. Brandon Fire. Gilbert. Sammy. I need this talk today. I love the topic. Gilbert, I love you with all my heart. Praise the Lord. Hydration break. Free to be me. Fire emojis. Thank you. Teresa. I love when you seem to name every emoji. I don't know if I'm going to end it. Is that a shrimp? A dinosaur? That's a magical. I don't know. Is that a purple squirrel? Some type of dragon? And a moon emoji. Teresa, I hope I got at least 3 out of 5 of those right. Because it was like going on an eye test, like an eye doctor. I'm all squinting. I'm trying to say, I think that's an E. Is that a V? I couldn't read some of the emojis, but I think I got at least the majority right. My prescription lens does not have to change. Thank you. Tara, I love this channel too. Thank you. I honestly look forward to every day. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, someone died in the house. Oh, Cameron, South Korea. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the channel, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for noticing the energy and output, and thank you for the appreciation. It means something to me. Cameron, I appreciate it, brother. From South Korea to, I think you're in Kansas now. You're all over. But do I appreciate that? Yeah, I appreciate that. Do I want you to know I appreciate that? Yeah. That's why I want to take the time and energy to give to you guys and show you I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Praise the Lord. Tara, I read that. Gilbert, thumbs up, prayer emoji, fire, money bag, palm tree, money bag, fire, palm tree, money bag, fire, prayer, thumbs up. Well, that's a full day, brother. Good job. Gilbert, good evening, everyone. Free to be me. They are going to ask children which gender do they want to be. Total disaster. No, look, I don't care. Like, look, let somebody, the bottom line is, when someone's an adult, let them pick whatever they want. You want to be transgender, you want to be a man, I don't care. To me, that's your business. That's not hurting no one. Do I think some people may be born and feel like they should be another gender? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not in their head. But I'm not going to sit here and try to dictate their life. Now, if they start to hurt someone, because look, I don't care if you're a transgender, you could be a jerk. Like, just because you're transgender don't mean you're nice, but you should have the right to do that. Because to me, I look at it, it's not hurting no one. It's just you deciding what you want to do in life. However you want to live. And who am I to tell you it's right or wrong? As long as it's not hurting anyone, I don't care. And that's love. That's a loving society. Look, this person wants to wear a dress. This person, do I care? No, no. There's plenty of milfs out here. I got my hands full. I was in Starbucks today. I got a good story for you. So I'm in Starbucks this morning, right? I'm getting my morning coffee, and I'm looking good. I'm looking like a beach guy. I got my hat on. I'm looking smooth. These girls like me because I'm very loving. And so they know me at Starbucks. So I go, can I please, she goes, I'm having normal. She goes, hey, Sam. This was the girl behind the barista. She goes, Sam, I saw you last night at the other Starbucks. I said, what? Because there's another Starbucks about 10 minutes away. So I go, what? She goes, yeah, I saw you cheating on us. I said, well, I said, I'm a free spirit. I said, but I love you. She goes, oh, you're a free spirit. She goes, you always give the right answers. I think she wanted me to jump behind that counter right there. Now, did I do that? No. Why? Because I can't crap where I eat. Now, do I think she likes me on the low? Yeah, I think she looks at me like a magical nomad guy that's very loving and caring and is good with kids and loves dogs, but I don't want a family and I don't want kids. And then eventually she says, I don't want to be part of this channel. Why? Because I thought I could seduce you. Can you seduce me? No. What if I give you free pike coffee? No. But I'll still love you and respect you, even if you want to be a man. But don't send me a dick pic. All right, hydration break. It's a disaster out there. Tara, hello, Gilbert. Sean Murphy, Kenna's in the house. Politically correct has destroyed the society. No, it hasn't destroyed the society. It just, it's part of society trying to find balance. Because society was once very disrespectful. It was once very, women should know their place, minorities should know their place. It was direct, but it was disrespectful direct. It was not honoring the Constitution and the different freedoms. Look, some people, you want to be transgender? Don't serve that gay guy. What is that American Constitution? No, that's too direct talk. And then we got pandering. Then we got Hillary Clinton on the Breakfast Club talking about she got a package of hot sauce in her purse. Total disaster. And that's how we got Trump. So now we're going to get Andrew Yang. We're balancing out. We're going forward. Good job. Gilbert, it's cold up here, Sammy, but you are heating it up. Yeah? Fire emoji. Good job. Thank you, Gilbert. I love you. Sean Murphy, money changes everything, as Cindy Laufer sang. Well, I don't know, but definitely money does change things. But that's why you should work for an income. You should add value to society, and you should do something. And then you should lower your expenses, and then you should just live the life you want to live. And that's what I'm doing, and I appreciate that. Teresa, I'm out here earning it. Teresa, hydration break. Thank you, Teresa. I'm out here earning it. Don't tell me it's just, this ain't universal. I mean, this is, thank you, Teresa. I'm very excited about that. Thank you, hydration break. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. I love you, Teresa. Thank you. And thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Cameron and Teresa. I appreciate that. You guys see me giving all I got, and I appreciate the reciprocal love. Where are we at? Jill 2000. Yes, I agree. Sean 100. Teresa. Hey, Tara. Make sure you say Gilbert like Sam. Gilbert. Peace emoji. Cameron. Thank you again, brother. Love and respect. Gilbert. Hey, at Tara. Gilbert. Hey, at Teresa. Sean Murphy. Sam, is there a big underground economy in construction? Is there a big underground economy in construction? I think construction is always going to be a big part of the economy because construction is growth. That's why the U.S. economy does not want to get rid of housing, and that's why we went into a recession when housing collapsed. Because a big percentage of the economy depends on housing. Housing is construction, and even if you do commercial construction, it means that area is growing with housing, and so you can have commercial development. Housing, what happens with housing is the first thing that happens with housing, and that's the birth of construction, basically. Whether it's a house or a residential whether it's a residential building or commercial building, it's construction. The first thing that happens with a residential building or commercial building is a loan. Very few people, even businesses, very few people pay cash because they leverage it. Doesn't matter if you're a business, if you're Donald Trump, or you're a regular person. Most real estate companies do not buy cash. They buy on leverage. You create a loan. When you create a loan, you pump money into the economy because it doesn't exist. It's borrowed money. Banks lend out money that they don't have. The money that banks lend out, they don't have the same equivalent in their bank vault. They just lend it out. The government allows them to lend out at certain ratios. Money's pumped into the economy. You build a house, okay? You build a house, a loan's created to build the house. Someone buys the house. The person who buys the house takes out another loan. Real estate agents get commissions. Building inspectors have to inspect it. Township inspectors have to inspect it. The house transaction is complete. Lawyers get paid, etc., etc. Then you get the house. Then even if it's a brand new house or if it's a used house, you want to put your touches on it. So now you hire more contractors to construct your house. Or you go to Home Depot, you buy the materials, and you construct your house the way you want it. With your paint colors, with your kitchen faucet, with your magical waterfall, bathroom shower thing that I get free at Planet Fitness. You do all that. I did that. I lived construction and the housing life. So now money's pumping everywhere. Money's pumping everywhere. And you haven't even moved in yet. Most people renovate their house before they even move in. Now you get into your house. And that cycle just there's always money, and then you're paying property tax. It's a huge part of the economy. And I think we are a long way off from robots doing construction. Because construction is not driving a straight highway where you can automate a car to drive within the lines. Construction, there's a lot of calculations that have to take place in the mind to measure, to do organic cuts, to have artistic touch. There's a huge amount of logic and amount of art that goes into construction. I often say that life is partly science and partly art. So construction is partly science. You have to have architectural designs with certain measurements and structural support. But you also have art. You have aesthetics. You have the way it looks, the way it inspires. And so that organic mix can only be humanly constructed at a certain degree. Even though you'll have prefab homes and prefab commercial buildings that are partly pre-manufactured, to put them together and to make an organic thing, you still have to have humans. So construction is a big part of the economy that I think will not go away, and we need it. And if you look back at any depression time economically, construction has gotten lower because we weren't growing, and people were scared to take out loans, and people couldn't take out loans, and that whole system of everyone getting paid, from lawyers to real estate agents to Home Depots, it all went down, and that's how, you get to a stale point. All right, let's take a hydration break. Good job. Pump it up. Gilbert, how are the ladies doing in here? Oh yeah, AJ. To get ahead, do things that others are unwilling to do, like living in your Prius and saving $100,000 in living expenses over 3 years. Well, I'm not mad at that. That's a lot. So $100,000 in living expense divided by 3, well, divided by 2 would be what, 50,000. So you're saying that the average person spends about $35,000 a year in housing. What's 35,000 divided by 12? There's 12 months in a year. Well, 3,000 a month. That's a lot. I don't think it's that much. The average person probably spends about $2,000 a month in living expenses. $1,500 to $200. If you spend $2,000 a month, that's about $24,000, right? Am I right? Yeah, $24,000. If you spend $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. So I would say the average person probably spends around $15,000 to $20,000 a month in just rent, or $15,000 or $20,000 a year in either rent or mortgage. And your 3 biggest expenses are this. If you want to know your 3 biggest expenses in life, well, listen up and take notes. I'm about to break it down. Number 1 is not housing costs. Number 1 is having a child. Having a child is your most expensive thing. It's estimated from the age of 0 to 18 to have a child costs about $250,000. Every time you have a child, you take out a mortgage for $250,000 for 18 years. The second biggest thing is your actual house, okay? Your rent or your mortgage. That's why a lot of people say, well, I'll get ahead and I won't have a rent or mortgage. I'll live in my car. But I think there's a lot of miscalculation where people don't realize they'll still gonna spend money living in a car. And there's a level of risk, and you're not going to, most people, you're not going to have a child that you live with. You're not going to have a dog. You have to be a very solitary person. I am. So there's variables there. Now, can you save money living in a car? Yes. Will most people do it? No. Less than 1% of society will live in a car. So for most society, they're going to have to spend at least $1,000 in rent, at least $1,000. And that's why if you make $1,000 or less, you're in poverty, because you can even if you got $1,000 free from the government, you pay rent, you got nothing to eat. And so we'll see. Good job. Tony, what's up, everybody? Tara, I take unemployment in a heartbeat. You can say vacation, buddy, but the truth is workforce isn't what it used to be. Yep, you know it. And employers are always looking for people who all caps work. Yeah. Look, companies are looking to max out efficiency. And once you get into your 50s, even though you have great experience and knowledge, you become less employable because your core working years are between 30 to 50. On average, there's always exceptions. On average, the height of your work career will be between the ages of 30 to 50. After that, you're less employable, you get older, your mind gets less adaptable, and you look forward to retirement, not to building your career. There's plenty of government jobs and government workers, such as cops, who work 20 years and out. A lot of cops, if you work 20 years, you can take a pension. Military, same thing. Government workers, they work 20 years, they're out. Most people in society, I worked since I was the age of 17. I may have to work till 67. I hope not. But if I do, that's 50 years. That's 50 years. If you work from 17 to 67, that's 50 years. I'm pretty much right now at the peak of my career. Now, look, that's the truth. On average, now maybe something else will happen, but right now I'm 38 going on 39. I'm at the peak of my life. The average life expectancy is about 80 years old, a little less. So divide 80 by 2, that's 40. I'm at the peak of my life. I'm at the peak of my life as far as my mind, my body, everything being at the most vibrant point. I'm at the peak. After 40, your body starts to go downhill. So I'm at the peak of my physical being, and I'm at the peak of my career. As I cross the threshold and get closer to 50 and 60, my career, my body, everything goes downhill. Why? Because I'm getting ready to transition to the other world. Now, what's on the side of the other world? Well, I hope some Asian MILFs, a RV lot that's paid off for Florida, and free porn. Let's stay positive. Sean Murphy, transgender is no big deal. It is a life choice. Yeah, look, whatever it is, people should have the freedom to do it because it's their choice, just like a religion. The First Amendment of the Constitution in America is you can have a religion or you can have no religion. The First Amendment of the Constitution doesn't say you have to be Christian. It actually veered people away from Christianity or any type of government institution because the Puritans came to America from Europe because they were getting persecuted, and then they forced their Christianity on the Native Americans, took their land, and then when there was like the Revolutionary War, the founding fathers said, look, we can't have the government, just like in Europe, dictating religion. So the First Amendment of the Constitution is you can have any religion or you can have no religion. It doesn't say that you have to pray in school. There was that, part of the First Amendment of the Constitution is so you don't have to be dictated prayers in school. Whether it's praying to Jesus, Allah, or Buddha or whatever. You shouldn't have any prayers in school because then it's like the government is instituting that. You can't institute that. You only get blessed when you freely do something, okay? And so freedom, if freedom is really what America's about, then we are able to choose religions. We are able to choose if we want to wear a dress or a Walmart shirt, cut-off shirt, sweating in our car. Why? Because that's the land of the free, right? Or is it the land of you fill in the blank. Good job. Tony, Gilbert. Tony, what's up, brother? It's cold, Sam, but I got the heat on. It's a disaster. I love you. Brandon, your storytelling and brain always crack me up. Thank you. Laughing. It's a disaster. It's such a funny quote. It's really real. That's why it's funny. Like Chris Rock said, the best joke is the truthful joke. And you guys know it's a disaster out there. You guys are barely holding on to your sanity. You guys are saying it's a disaster. I can't wait till this guy goes live. Not because I'm any better than you, because I'm in the same boat as you. I'm trying to get ahead and live a good life. Now, by the grace of God, I made it to Florida. Now, by the grace of God, if I can retire early, I will not have kids. I'll stay single, and I'll still go live every night. So what I could tell you is, it's a disaster out there. But what I could also tell you is we're blessed. We got to stay thankful. We got to fight negative thoughts. We got to live where we want. We should get a vasectomy. And you should believe in love. If you want to believe in love, and if you want to get married, I don't care if you want to get married to a hot guy with a nice ass or a transgender person with a nice purse. I don't care who you want to marry. Do whatever you want. I preach singleness for everyone. But if you want to get married, I say God bless you. Why? I want you to live your dream. I want you to live your dream. Whatever it is for you. God bless. Teresa, thank you again. Hydration break. Teresa, thank you for reminding. Gina, I see hundreds of tourist couples who argue here in Thailand. I see that in Florida too. Came to a vacation and still not happy. Most people, it's a disaster. Damn. Well, I'm glad I came alone, brother. Why do I preach singleness? I'm trying to look out for you guys. What a disaster. Damn it, I told you. I love you, Gina. Freedom of me is laughing. Good. It's good to laugh. Sean Murphy. Freedom of speech should be meant point of view from left wing to right wing. Groups, it is good to hear both sides. I agree with that. I'm not mad. As long as the freedom of speech is not manipulative to the point where, look, some people manipulate freedom of speech. Any freedom can be manipulated. And some people use it for their own personal agenda and they manipulate the people. But it's for the people to decide somewhat. But just like every freedom, you got to have it monitored because people abuse it. But I agree. Healthy debate is where it's at. Tony, it's raining. It's butt off here, Gilbert. It's a disaster. We love you, Tony. Love you, Maryland. Gilbert. CD rain here now, Tony. Gilbert, cold. Tony, same here. Cameron. There needs to be a way to encourage people to live outside the norm. Well, I'm doing it, baby. I'm having trouble trying to explain people why I live in a car living alone. Well, there you go right there. Don't try to explain anything to anyone. Just live your life, etc. Family, random people. Brother, I love you, Cameron. What I learned in life is what you're doing is not oppressing someone, and if it's not burden, don't even worry about it. You think I try to explain to somebody why I want to be single and why I live in my car? No. And the minute I have to start explaining myself to someone, I cut them off. Why? Because I'm not doing anything to bother you. Why are you bothering me? I'm not sitting here parked in front of your house. I'm not parking in front of anybody. I'm at campgrounds. I'm at places where I'm parking legally. I researched, can you legally live in a car? The answer was yes, as long as you're legally parked at the proper place. I also Googled, can you text and drive? The answer is no, it's illegal. More people commit crimes every day by texting and driving. I'm sitting here legal and compliant, parking properly, and they're texting and driving, and they're asking me, well, how do you do this? How do you do this? Well, stop texting and driving. It's illegal. Good job. Tara, alternative lifestyle coaching, Cameron. Yeah. Cameron, thank you, Tara. Tara, I agree with you 100%. Sean Murphy. Elizabeth Warren, nah, she's a disaster. Criticized a $1 billion NFL owner for spending so much money. Yeah, she's too far the other way. Andrew Yang. She said it should go to education. NFL owner said that she was creating jobs. Now I got two extremes. I'm not a big Elizabeth Warren fan. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we gotta be careful. Free to be me. I need some of your energy and wisdom, well, brother. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Free to be me. Like you always tell me, brother, peace be with you. I say peace also be with you. And you hang around positive people, you get the positive vibes. You need a little bit of negativity in life just to give you a little bit of push, but overall you want to be very positive. Now, if you're too positive, people abuse you. Once in a while, I say, look, that's enough. But I'm not going to, but that's enough. But I want to be overall positive. So, brother, I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you, and I want to thank you. Why? Because I want to take time to be thankful, and I am. And I appreciate that. Thank you to you. Thank you to Cameron. And thank you to Teresa. Do I appreciate that? Yeah. And I appreciate that, brother. Feel vibes. Hydration break. Hazelwood. Cameron, thank you, Tara. Tara, I agree with you. Sean, I read that. I'm sorry. Random. Cocaine built a lot of Florida. That's true. And back in the early 70s and 80s. No, that's true. Cocaine, came into Miami. It was a big thing. Well, part of that, too, was the government, because the government was trying to have strategic location in South American countries because they didn't want Russia getting too close to our border. They were backing certain drug cartels in Latin American countries and in South American countries. And so part of that drug and gun overspill into America through one of the major ports, which is Miami, was partly due to government allowing certain things to flow. So there's a lot of conspiracies. I don't go too far down that hole, but that's partly part of American history. So that's true. Brandon, you're a genius, Sam. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Don't put me on a pedestal because I can be wrong, but I do appreciate the love and support. It means something to me. Thank you. Dion. Hey guys, new to the live chat. Well, welcome. So checking it out. Say hello. Laughing good. It's good to laugh. Sorry, bad intro. Well, I appreciate that, brother. I think that, oh no, it's a girl. I'm sorry. I didn't see the profile pic. Well, maybe you're transgender. I don't know. But no matter what you are, I love you and I speak equality and I love you. Good job, Tara. Hand wave emoji. Backwoods Dylan's in the house. What's up saying? How are you doing, bro? I'm trying to live the best life I can. The snow is finally melting away. Well, praise the Lord. 2.5 feet? Oh my God, it's a disaster. 2.5 feet finally stopped and turned to rain. It was coming down like cats and dogs. Oh my God. For a day and a half, it's a disaster. Yep. Peace emoji and then disaster emoji with a snowflake and 100. Brother, I love you. I love you. I love you, but you got to get out of Northwest, brother. You got to come Southeast. Good job. Sean Murphy. As Dave Chappelle said, Trump tax cuts are not helping you, audience, but they are helping me, wealthy. Well, look, the tax cuts make some sense. I mean, because you do want to incentivize business. My biggest problem with the tax cuts were not that we had tax cuts. My biggest problem was we gave permanent tax cuts to corporations without any regulations, meaning that we're going to give you a tax break, but we should also said you have to keep a certain amount of your productivity in America. So if we give you a tax break to make us competitive with other countries, you have to mandate, you have to have some workers, you have to have a percentage of workers in our country. If not, you're abusing our infrastructure and you're outsourcing to maximize your profit. That's not fair to the American taxpayer. And then the middle class taxpayer The middle class, we got temporary tax cuts. They will expire when Trump is out of office, even if he gets elected a second term. I think they expire in 10 years. So Trump's second term is done. Corporations got permanent. You got temporary. Your taxes are going to go up in 10 years. And so that was a little bit of a misdirection. And that's why I was against it. Now, I'm not against tax cuts, but I'm against how it was structured. And eventually, the middle class, they're going to go up again, and unless someone else puts permanent. Free to be me. Thank you, brother. I love you. I appreciate it. Peace be with you. Hydration break. It's hot in South Florida tonight, baby. Yeah. Damn it. I love it. Dion, wow. Good for you. That's a fab attitude. Thank you. My best friend and I are traveling right now as we got fed up of living in one place with restrictions. Well, Dion, I can understand that. Everywhere gets boring. So, but travel and enjoy life. Now, does Florida get boring? Not for me. Do I want to sweat in Florida? I'm sweating right now. I love Florida. Will I ever leave Florida? No. Will I ever go back to Jersey? No. Will I ever go to Alaska? No. Will I ever go to California? Probably not. What am I going to do? I'm probably going to die in Florida. What do I want you to do if you're still alive and I'm dead? Make sure my ashes go directly into the Atlantic Ocean and you do a live feed in memory of me. Thank you. Gilbert. Sammy, I would love to argue with you about age, but I can't. You are so on point. Thank you. The older I get, the less useful. I don't want you to feel that way. The less useful you are to society. Is true, though. Live from where you are in life. Start now. Well, that's true. But I do want to say there's great value in senior citizens, and there's great value in being older to society. So, but what I'm saying, in a capitalist society, and there's nothing wrong with capitalism. Capitalism is better than a lot. But in an unstructured capitalist society, where we measure output solely by GDP and not by mental health or creativity or compassionate, in a compassionate, in a capitalist society, once you get old, you have no value. If you can't bring anything to a company to make a profit, capitalism is private companies or public companies solely operating for profit. So once you're old and if you're not useful, you're done. That's a capitalist program. So if we don't have some socialism or some compassion and creativity, I mean, it's a disaster. Look, let me tell you something. I always used to like to spend time with older people versus younger people because they get life. When you're older and you're close to death, like, you understand life. Why am I so wise? Because I've been close to death and I've been around a lot of people that died. And what I could tell you is I understand what life's about. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I'm trying to say I live my best life urgently every day because I know this world's a disaster and I know our time's ticking. I know we're all terminally ill. You say, Sam, I'm not terminally ill. I got no diagnosis. Every breath you breathe, you are closer to death. I don't care if you're in great physical shape. You have a terminal illness. You're human. You will die. So, you have to start living now, but live responsibly. Good job. Sean Murphy. Let's all ride that peace train, Sammy. Well, hey, I'm not mad at peace. Peace and love. Sure, free to be me. Praise the Lord. Oh, please the Lord. Well, all right, I'm not mad at that either. Married. Hey, wave emoji. Hello. Palm tree. Heart. Palm tree. Heart. Palm tree. I love you. Tara. It makes me so mad to think that I have to stand at work Monday through Saturday, 50 hours, partially overtime, to pay my rent. I can understand that, 30% of my income. But it has been a lot worse. Amen. See, Tara, you have the right mind. You got a beautiful place. I'm very proud of you. Now, if you stop living in an apartment, would you save 30%? No. I think you would save maybe 15 or 20%, maybe. You're still going to spend 15 or 20% out on the road, at least. So don't think like if you lived in your car, if you had $1,000 rent, don't think if you live in your car, you'd save $1,000. Most people wouldn't. You'd overspend in different areas, and it's nature for the beast, whether it's gas, campground fees, wear and tear on your vehicle, or even if you get a little bit more carefree and spend more money on food, you would spend more money. And so what I could tell you is 30% of your income on some type of housing is not bad if you wanted to live in that area and if you were happy and fulfilled with life. If you weren't happy and fulfilled with life and you didn't want to live in that area, I would say get the hell out of there. But Tara, I'm very proud of you. And I appreciate you having a good attitude. I love you. Latoya, hey, From Orlando, love and respect to my fellow Floridian. Heart emoji, palm tree emoji, and the sun coming out of the clouds. Praise the Lord. We love the Sunshine State. I love you, Latoya. I'm a traveling fan, also Floridian. The Panama Papers. Oh, he's about to break it down for you. The Panama Papers explain it all on how crooked the global economy is. Now, traveling man, we can't get negative, but you're right. Let's not get too negative, though. I love you. Backwoods, aka Dylan. Thank you for the advice. I love you. I'm seriously thinking about traveling more and seeing what more states I would like to move to. I love the Northwest. I'm not mad at you. You got to know your tag name, so you must have a passion for it. Super fresh air, food, beautiful, lovely views. Peace emoji, hang loose emoji, and 100% emoji. And, oh my God, super chat. Oh my God. Dylan, thank you, brother. Here's for all you do, knowledge and inspiration. You spread, brother. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I know you not the other one, but other doing this, but it's awesome to see you continue the live videos. Keep it up. And then he gave out a disaster snow emoji, thumbs up emoji, hang loose, peace emoji, and 100. Dylan, I say thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Dylan. Very generous, man. Thank you, everyone, for the positive support. Does it mean something to me? It means something to me. And I'm very thankful. I don't take it for granted. Even as I move on to other comments, I want you to know that I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Marin, doing taxes. Wish we could all vote on what we wanted to go for. Yeah, that would still probably jam it up. Now, look, taxes did go down a little bit this year. We have to, Trump realigned some things, okay? So you're going to see that when you see your effective tax rate. It probably went down. So let's acknowledge that good. But the bottom line is we print money. We're $21 trillion in debt. Bill Gates was asked if that's a problem. He said it's not a problem because any country that can print their own currency, it's not a problem. Now, you can devalue your currency by going in debt, but what are you going to do? All countries are in debt. So, some people go too far. Some people go too far with the use of taxes or not having taxes. The answer is somewhere in the middle. But taxes have, if you look at historically, taxes have been trending lower since the 70s. In the 1970s, when the middle class was high, tax rates were a lot higher, but people were dodging taxes and using evasive measures. Even though the tax rates were higher, the effective tax rates were actually lower. So you have a tax rate, and after the deductions, it's your effective tax rate that really matters. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the tax rates are. As technology advances, okay, and as the middle class continues to shrink, right now, statistically, the middle class is continuing to shrink. Stock market's all-time high. 80% of Americans still living paycheck to paycheck. Doesn't matter if we're $21 trillion in debt, it's still going down. The issue is technology and society's evolving. Society's not what it was in 1970. Society's not what it was in 1920. And it's not going to be what it is it's not going to be what it is now 30 years from now. Everything in life changes. You have to adapt, grow, and we'll figure it out. Sean Murphy. When you get old, they want to put you out to the pasture. Yeah, a lot of people, they don't even want to give you Social Security anymore. That's what they want. They don't care about you. That's capitalist society. Social Security, screw the seniors. Let them die in the streets. That's what they want. That's true. A lot of people, their retirement plan is waiting for a lot of people, Bill Gates said, if you really want to restructure society, you don't make the tax rate higher, you tax wealth. You don't tax income. Because income, wealthy people know how to avoid that, and they don't have a lot of income, they have assets. And he goes, that's where he said AOC or whatever, the House of Representative lady from the Bronx who brought up the Green Deal, which she went too far. He goes, she has it all wrong where she's looking at taxing the income, but the income, you don't get it out of there, you get it out of the wealth. You get it out of estate tax, which Trump is trying to lower. You get out of different things like that where most of the wealth is concentrated in assets, not in income. And that's how the 1% continues to grow and the middle class shrinks, because there's so much assets that once they get concentrated at a certain level, no matter what your income is, you're competing with asset levels that are up here. You'll never, there's an imbalance that has already taken place. So to restructure that, there's a several way approach, but it's not just taxing income. It's looking at, wealth and everything like that. When you get older, you want to put to when you get old, they want to put you to the pasture like the racehorse that is no longer useful to his owner. Well, that's true. Look, we say we're pro-life, but we allow people to put down dogs. I had to put down my dog, okay? And I put down my dog because she was suffering more than she was enjoying life. So, and let me tell you something. I think people who have children, I think they're selfish because I think if you live long enough in this world, I think a lot of things about it. That's why I preach vasectomy. I mean, Sam, but if we don't have children, how did the human race dominate the world? Well, why does the human race have to dominate the world? Are you having children just so the human race can dominate? Why do people have children? Well, a lot of people have children to get to take care of them when they're older. A lot of people have children out of selfish reasons, or they like baby outfits, or they want to share, whatever. When you get older, a pure capitalist society doesn't care about you because you cannot produce a profit for a company. Capitalism is the economy is based on you are as valuable as the profit you can produce for a company. So we have to look at how we look at society. I don't care what you call it. Get away from capitalism, socialism. We are not in the right mindset. All we look at is the stock market, is GDP, is demographics with race, religion, gender. And we don't look at the organic health of humanity. And that's why, we're still good though. We're in better shape than we were. I don't want to get negative. We're in better shape than we were. We'll get better. I'm a travel man. The 8 richest people in the world do not pay taxes. Yeah, they know. They have lobbyists. Like a lot of people say, get the government out of my way. If you feel that way, why do the wealthiest people in the world and the corporations have lobbyists full time in Washington, D.C.? Because they want to sway the legal system and the tax system in their favor. They're lobbying the government every day because they need the government to sway in their favor. So, don't tell me you want the government out of your way because the rich people are in bed with the government to have the government go their way. So, please. Child man, the 8 richest people in the world do not pay taxes. They also own and control over 43% of all of the world's wealth and resources. Totally agree. Good job. Sean Murphy. Taxes here are 50% of your income. Well, that is the tax rate. What's the effective tax and what's in that? You also have healthcare in that, right? So right now, if the tax rate is 25% in America, but you also spend another 10 to 15% of your money on healthcare, it doesn't, your tax rate's really 35% or 40%. So I need to know more statistics, not just a number. What's your effective tax rate? What do you get in your taxes? And what is also the income? And what's the net distribution? And what are you getting for it? So numbers can be manipulated in many ways. I'm not saying it's a right or wrong thing, but you have to look at it organically. Love and respect. Tom Bushwhacker, brother, thank you again, man, for the support, Tom. Good to see you, man. Tom, thank you, brother. Good to see you. You've been here several times, man, and shown me love and support. Do I appreciate that? Yeah. Do I take time to acknowledge that? Yeah, because I'm appreciative. So thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Tom. Much love. Great convo, Tom. Thank you for the support, man. Means a lot, man. Like I said, I could spend all day, man, just saying thank you because for me, I want people to know that it means something and I'm thankful. So, Tom, much love to you, brother. Sean Murphy, we were just talking about the tax rate. Sean Murphy, can you say offshore bank accounts? Yeah. And that's part of it too. Dylan Backwoods, thank you again, brother. You know what it is. I read that already, but I still appreciate that, and I thank you, brother. Marin, Backwoods, how my thoughts go as well. Saw a YouTube vid where this guy got a campground within walking distance of a 5-star hotel. He booked a massage, went there and enjoyed the beach, etc. for $35. Okay, $35 a night. Now, I think on average, you're going to pay at least $30 a night, and that's just about average, maybe a little bit above for a campground. So, like, if you say I have $1,000 rent, I'm going to live in my car and save $1,000, you're not. Because you're either going to have campground fees, you're going to spend more in gas, or you're going to spend more going out to eat because you don't have a refrigerator. So just be mindful. Nothing in this world is free. And that's a good point. Swan Auto, I checked out some of your videos, brother. Swan Auto broke that down on why someone went away from veganism. I heard that. Swan Auto, even though things get tough, I'm very grateful. That's what I like about you, brother. For everything God has blessed me with. Swan Auto, that's why I rock with you, man. I love thankful people. Thankful people have the right spirit, and I acknowledge you. I appreciate you, and I watch your video, brother, because you have a good spirit. Love to you. Backwoods, you're welcome. Real talk, brother. It's only money. Well, I appreciate it, man. And I say thank you again, and love and respect, brother. Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate it. Marin, yeah, Backwoods. Explanation and prayer emoji. Love, man. I'm a traveling man. Germany's not in debt. Is that what you mean? I don't know enough about that, though. I don't want to comment. Okay. Thank you, traveling man. I have to look it up. Tara, my taxes easily take 15% of my income. I'm sorry, my taxes easily take 15% of my income. Rent is 33 to 40%. Okay. The only way to get ahead is to be frugal. I agree with that. That's okay. Thank you, Tara. Good comment. Look, yeah, I mean, you got to live below your means. You got to have an income. You got to have lower expenses. Housing is a big cost. I mean, look, so I get that. That's a good comment. Sean Murphy, interest rates are the key if they rise or decline or stay the same. Well, no, interest rates are a reaction to what the economy is doing. So if interest rates are high, that means the economy is going good, inflation is going up, so interest rate controls growth. Interest rates, which are controlled by the governments and central banks. Central banks are basically a collection of not just governments, but corporate equity firms. Okay, look it up. And they put pressure on what the interest rates are. So if the economy is going too out of control, growing too fast, purposely the powers to be raise the interest rates and suppress the growth to keep things somewhat in balance. And then when the economy is going bad, central banks lower the interest rate to inflate the economy. So central banks, which all play a part too in printing money and how much we print and who decides if we print, the powers to be, interest rates are a mechanism that they use to either inflate or deflate the economy based on how it's growing. When we went into the recession in 2006, they lowered the interest rates all the way down to get the economy back going. We collapsed because we were growing so fast that the interest rates had to get risen. And then when they started to rise and certain debt bubbles were seen, then the stock market started to crash. And Jim Cramer was on CNBC and saying, the Fed's got to lower the interest rate. He also told you to sell everything, never told you to get back in. He's a disaster. So there's a big powers to be part of that. Never forget it. Marin, all countries are in debt. Really? Yeah, for the most part. There's a lot of countries that were bought and sold basically to clear their debt books. If you look at how we own or how, certain countries are control, like example, if you Google how are America, we got Puerto Rico out of a debt deal, right? Because if you're born in Puerto Rico, you're an American citizen. So Puerto Rico is not it's not a state within America, but I think we technically own it, and I think that was part of a debt deal. And we don't want to bail out Puerto Rico because they're in debt, but why do we want Puerto Rico? Because they're strategically on that border southern plain that we try to keep a buffer between us and other countries. Every country wants a buffer around them. That's why we're never going to get North Korea to totally denuclearize. Why? Because China doesn't want North Korea to denuclearize. Why? Because North Korea is right on China's border. So China controls North Korea. And China wants a buffer. And we wanted a buffer. That's why the Contra and all that other stuff from the 80s, when we allowed guns to flow to South America and vice versa, we were trying to keep Russia at bay. Everything is a strategical, political, geopolitical game. And a lot of that game has to do with debt. So Venezuela right now is in debt. So you hear a lot of talk, well, they're in debt because of socialism. And some of that may be true, but also we put economic sanctions on Venezuela. So we created a lot of their bankruptcy, right? So basically, when we're a superpower, we can put economic sanctions on a country. We can bury them. We can stop trade. So there's a lot of manipulation, okay, with debt and how debt is used, not just in a personal life situation, but also in a geopolitical situation. Debt can be very strategic. Donald Trump once said he's the king of debt because he knew how to leverage debt. He said he never put his own money into something. He'd rather leverage debt because if he became really destitute, he just claimed bankruptcy. Donald Trump has a famous thing that once happened to him. When he was in his worst, when he was in the 90s, late 80s, when he was basically going through, I think, his second divorce, he was totally going bankrupt. He had walked outside. Ivanka Trump, his daughter, Ivana Trump, you can YouTube Google it. She did an interview where they walked out. They saw a homeless man in New York City. And Trump said to his daughter, he goes, you know what that person has? He goes, you know what's different between me and that person? Donald Trump was saying, between him and the homeless person, you know what's different? And his daughter said, no. He goes, that homeless person has $3 billion or $3 million more than me. 3 million or 3 billion. I don't remember what the hell it was. 3 million or something like that. And he goes, what do you mean, Daddy? He goes, I'm in debt. Example, I'm in debt 3 million. That homeless guy's not in debt. He goes, he's $3 million richer than me. Trump knows how to play the debt system. Capitalism is a debt system. It's not a barter system. We don't have gold equivalent to every dollar that's printed. We're a debt system. So it's how do you play the debt? Who controls the debt? Who controls the debt is central banks. Who allows the printing of money and the controlling of interest rates? It's a whole system. Love and respect. Backwards. Thank you, Marin. The picture of my profile is the Northwest thumbs up emoji. Well, thank you. I know we're getting into deep political philosophy. Sorry about that. Damn, I might have to take a dump soon. Traveling man. Germany has a surplus every year. Thank you, traveling man. Marin, when I was young, I avoided taxes. Then again, I wasn't the person I am today. There you go. I resented taxes. I'm not mad at you. Wrong mindset. I understand. From the wealthy. You know, not all wealthy people are bad, and not all taxes are good. There's a balance somewhere in the middle. Sean Murphy, is there enough food to feed the world? Yeah, I definitely think so. Look, actually, well, at least in America, human population is decreasing. So we had a generation in America called the baby boomers, meaning where birth rates were high. Right now, birth rates are not high. The baby boomers are dying and birth rates are lower. So America is only 5% of the world's population. The biggest countries that are growing as far as population are India and China. India and China have the most population. They have about 1.3 billion people per country. America has about 350 million. India has 1.3 billion. China has 1.3 billion. America, the United States of America, has 350 million. We're like less than a third of what China is, of what India is. And our birth rates are decreasing. That's why without immigration, we don't grow. Things actually get worse because as the baby boomers die off, we have less and less people in this country. You don't realize that, but you're going to see that. So the demographic of America is changing. The demographic of the world is changing. And we'll see that as it comes to pass. Marin? Oh, I agree. We have children when there are so many in need already here. What is that about? I wish I'd adopted. Well, I mean, it's understandable. Look, most people have babies when they're young, they're lustful, and they're impressionable. It's only by the grace of God I didn't. I often say, like, if you really think you're in love, why don't you masturbate, ejaculate, then see if you still want to text them. Like right now, as I look at my laptop, it's 9:47 p.m. I guarantee you're thinking about turning me off and going to text some person that you're in lust with. If you masturbate and you ejaculate and you still want to text them, then text them. But chances are, after you masturbate and ejaculate, you want to roll over and go to sleep. That's truth. It's just lust. Get it out of your system. Tom? Hey, Tom. Thank you again. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you, Marin. I love you too. Thank you. Gina, people say to me that because I have no children, I'll be alone. Huh. Yeah, wait till you see how the people with children end up. Lonely when I'm old. They just don't get the fact that I like to be alone. Yeah, they don't get the fact, too, that the same thing is going to happen to them that happened to their parents. So the chances are they didn't take care of their parents. Their parents either were in assisted living or in a retirement home or they had a full-time caretaker. Okay, probably someone who was. I'm not going to say it. What I could tell you is, when you get old and you can't take care of yourself, your children are going to be in the rat race. They're going to have to work a full-time job to take care of their kids. Okay, they don't have time to take care of you too. So they're either going to put you in a home, or you're going to live in their basement, and they're going to resent you because they're in the rat race. They got to take care of their own kids, and they're going to resent you. That's the facts of life. You don't need to see the sitcom, The Facts of Life. Those are the facts of life. How do I know? I've seen it. I don't need to take a survey. I've seen it. I'm not trying to say you leave people destitute, but I'm saying that's why we have Social Security, and that's why we have certain programs, because you're going to need help. Because, you know, if 80% of society is living paycheck to paycheck, you think you got the extra capacity to take care of somebody else? No. No, you don't. And that's truth. Marin, when I was considered more money. I never paid taxes. I also never asked questions either. The old days. Marin, you're a loving person. And I love your honesty. And I love who you are and how you are. Marin, I love you so much. iSurvivor in the house. iSurvivor. Please, everyone, click on iSurvivor's profile picture. Subscribe to his channel. I was his first subscriber. Click his videos and watch them. Brother got 2 videos up there. iSurvivor is in his 50s. He's been divorced. He loves his daughter, but he's trying to reposition his life. The guy's got a good head and his shoulders. I ask you, please, click on this guy's channel. Watch his videos. He's a good guy. Trying to do the best he can. iSurvivor, I'm with you, brother. Love and respect. Good job on the videos. BVT. Late, but hello, Sam. Well, I appreciate that. South Carolina's in the building. What is South Carolina? The home of the palmetto bug. Marin, thumbs up, thumbs back. Hello. Backwoods, be very mindful. Yes, I appreciate the lives and you, Sam. Thank you. Thanks, bro. Thumbs up to you also, man. Thank you. Marin, Swan, I'm going to check out your channel. Yeah, check out Sean Murphy. Switzerland, I believe, is in the black or profit on their balance sheet. It's all manipulative. Yeah, but we don't know what got wiped off. We don't know what countries are helping them. Is NATO helping keeping their borders secure? How much are they paying NATO? Is America paying NATO? Now, if they're not paying NATO, but America's paying NATO, we have a geopolitical interest. So we don't want Switzerland to get taken over because we don't want whoever may take them over. We want to control the globe. Okay, so even if they're not paying for NATO, we'll pay for NATO. Why? Because we want to control who's in power. Part of that is all geopolitical. True. Sean Murphy. Argentina's official currency used to be the U.S. dollar. Laughing. Okay. Jill. The IMF, International Monetary Fund, plays a big crooked role. Jill got it. All right. I don't believe 45 was great with money. I don't believe 45 was great with money. His thing was getting some. Oh, he talking about Trump. Good job with the 45. I know what that meant. Was getting some kind of deal. He's smart though in some aspects, but he made a ton of wrong decisions along the way. Yeah, well, he had a great start. He got $1 million loan from his father, and if you think about that in the inflationary rate, it was probably closer to about 30 million in today's currency. So he got basically, because back then when he got the $1 million loan, if you look at inflation in today's society, it'd be about $30 million. So he got a $30 million start. If you get $30 million, all you got to do is bury $1 million in the backyard, and even if you lose 29 million, you're good. So, and that's the problem. Even if his taxes show he made no income, he's got a certain amount of wealth that he inherited, that as the 1% grows, there's a certain amount that the middle class can never get ahead because there's a certain level of downward pressure. So there's a little bit of an imbalance there. That's true. Milano, Sammy, hot today. Just how I like it, my fellow Floridian. Miami's in the house. Love to see you, brother. I watched one of Emilio's videos today. Emilio had a video he did from La Mesa RV lot with a Class B. It was a different one. I didn't see it. It was like 2 years ago he did it, though. It was for like $29,000, $59,000. I forgot the name of the Class B. It looked like a Travato, but it wasn't. Marin, I still would pay even 60% taxes. No, that's too much. For everyone to truly have equality. No, I that's too high. I wouldn't agree with that. Prisons for reform, not punishment, not private. Radical. Well, I love you, but yeah, that would be too radical for me. Because look, some people, I'm not gonna say every person in prison is wrongly imprisoned, and I'm not going to say tax 60% because I think that's out of bounds. I think we could find somewhere, because the answer isn't just to tax people, because you still have to have a system in place where you incentivize innovation, you incentivize creativity, and you incentivize adding value to society. You can't just have everyone gets taxed and everyone gets a certain, you got to have a basic level of income where you take the pressure off people's neck. Right now, even if you work a full-time job, you're not lazy, you're not stuck in the system. You can go work a full-time job at Walmart or even whatever, construction, and you can still be 80% of society still living paycheck to paycheck. And you worry about your kids, you worry about yourself, because if you get older or if your kid is a little bit of a learning disability, capitalist society don't care about them. So you have to have some social basic programs that takes the pressure off society so they can be more innovative, so they can be more creative. Why do a lot of people get incarcerated? They're desperate. Petty theft, drug dealing. Is it right? No, it's not right, but it's the pressure of needing to support themselves. And you just got to be mindful of that. Gilbert. Hey, BBT. How are things? What's your day? Aaron. Japanese take really good care of seniors. Well, I don't know enough of comment, but I like Japanese girls. They are honored. Well, I like Last Samurai. That was a good movie. Marin, I love you. I love you too. I Survivor, I just subscribed. He's a good brother. Marin, I love you with all my heart. You got a good one, I Survivor. Annie G. Gonna check out I Survivor. Thank you, Annie G. Annie G's another good one, man. BBT. Pretty good, Gilbert. And yourself? The weather has been rainy and cold. Dismal. But I'm well. Thanks for asking. BBT's back. Gina, I think one of my comments was blocked. Uh-oh, you must have cursed, but I'll look to approve it. Let me see. Now, if you don't see your comment, it's because it got blocked. Swan Auto got blocked. He says, I'm a little off topic, but I'm so grateful to watch your videos. Thank you, brother. I watch your videos every day, and it's really nice to see you commenting on stuff on my videos. I don't know why you got blocked. I'm going to shut up, brother. Thank you. I try to watch everyone's videos as much as I can. Do I see any other blocks? I don't see any other blocks, brother. Write it again. Sean Murphy. $1 million loan. Wow. Yeah, and if you adjust it for today's inflation, it'd be more like $30 million. Good job. BBT. Gilbert, I think 2019 is going to be a great year for you. Well, I like that positivity. I just had that feeling. Well, I like that. You're a positive person. So are you, BBT. It's good to know you, sir. BBT, I'll never forget you, brother. I remember in my early days, someone was trolling me. And BBT says, I had like 10 people or less in my chat rooms. And BBT said, there's a troll here. He goes, it's always one person that ruins a good thing. And brother, you've always been very positive and supportive, even if I know you don't agree with me all the time. I love you, brother. I love you all my heart. Hydration break. Now, truth be told, I can't do too many more hydration breaks. Why? I got to pee like a racehorse. Getting very close to the end of the night. Sean Murphy. In the USA, they tax lottery winnings. In Canada, they do not. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Tom, you should watch The Blind Swordsman. I'll have to check that out. If you like samurais, I do. I will check that out, brother. Thank you. Guys, I love you all my heart, man. I really do. And there was a lot of love here tonight, man, and I really appreciate that. I got to pee. I read every comment, but I want to let you know that I appreciate you, man. Every man, woman, robot, whatever you are out there, all the love and support, just know that I appreciate it and want the best for everyone. I know it's not easy to get ahead, but try your best. Take it one step at a time. You got to take action. You need God's grace, and you need positive people in your life. Keep pushing forward.